Ciao ragazzi, this is Katie Portanova, and you're listening to Florence and Me. I'm a lover of stories and all things Italian, and I'm going to bring you all that in this podcast. My intention is to inspire you to step out of your comfort zone and explore life and travel the world. Join me as I tell you my story and many others about Italy and my love, Florence. Andiamo! Ciao! I am back for my final episode of the year. And if you listen to my last episodes, yes, probably my last episodes, I talked about it. So Stefano and I are going to Florence for Natale, for Christmas. We're very excited about this because it's been over 10 years since we've both been in Florence for Christmas. I've never actually been or stayed in Florence for Christmas because I always came home when I lived there. So I'm really excited to spend a week in Florence and then another week with my mother-in-law, with Fernanda, in her adorable little town, adorable home, to be with family and friends. And it's going to be something that I haven't ever dreamt that we would do. Apart from when I did dream to do it before COVID. And we were supposed to go 2020 and COVID. So, yes. And since that, I am getting ready for these 2 retreats coming up next year, and I already brought my suitcase up. I'm starting to pack. Thought I'd make this an episode about packing and like things to remember to bring, or remember that Italy has stores, so you don't have to, bring your whole bathroom or shampoo and conditioner, or where I'm going with this. I'm basically talking to women. I'm sure men don't do this. I know Stefano doesn't. Okay. So, what I have on my list, which I usually have most of these things in my suitcase when I'm traveling, but luckily I don't always have to have all of these things because I'm always staying with my mother-in-law or with friends, and they have these things. So I'm going to act like I'm going to a hotel just like you, and these are the things that I'm going to be bringing, okay? It's not going to be a long list. I'm just trying to think of things that we don't necessarily think about when we are packing to travel abroad, especially Europe. So I'm going to focus on Europe. Okay, the first big one is one that I was talking to a client that is actually coming with us in May, and you need converters. Now, what are converters? Converters are for your chargers, your other devices, mostly chargers, I would say. Charging your battery packs, your portable chargers, stuff like that. These converters help convert power from what your actual device uses. So I did a few videos of this on TikTok, but I'll just tell you about them. But there are some easier charging systems for your phones, AirPods, watches, if you have Apple products, that just it is like a 3-in-1 charger that you can, if you set your phone and your AirPod and your watch on it just right, it charges it without connecting it to another cord. So something to think about if you're trying to save on space. But converters you can find, if you look up on Amazon, I say Amazon because it's the most convenient and I hate saying that. But if you look up converters for Europe or for Italy in particular, so you'll get the right plug, because it's usually they're 2 skinny prong plugs. So that is the one you should look for. I also would recommend for women, if you are going to a hotel or a villa or an Airbnb, perhaps ask if they have hair dryers. Usually they do. because hair dryers really ruin circuits and ruin plugs for Italians when Americans bring theirs over, just because of the power difference. And the same thing with curling irons. So curling irons are, my mother has burned out, I don't know how many when she's visited me in Italy. So it's best if you are somebody that curls your hair, I'm sorry to say, I would like you to just bring a really cheapy one in case it gets burned out, because it probably will. I would also recommend, if you are someone that travels to Europe a lot, is to invest in a curling iron that is from Italy, so you don't have to worry about burning out your curling iron or buying a new one every year that you travel. I have one, so I always bring that with me just in case I want it. I don't always use it, but it does come in handy. Okay, so converters, chargers, portable chargers. If you are somebody that likes to be organized or wish they were, like myself, packing cubes are great. I always borrow my parents because they have them. I should invest in them. I have put, I do have an Amazon list for my travel guests with packing cubes. I should just buy them for myself. I keep borrowing them. Packing cubes are great, especially when you have dirty laundry. And so you can always put it in a packing cube that, okay, that's dirty laundry. Don't mess it with your clean laundry. It's a clever hack. If you are coming, like for me, I'm going to be in Italy in the winter, so I will have these anyway, but a scarf, a cardigan, a fleece, something to cover yourself up when you go into really cold churches. Because not just because it's cold, just because out of respect, covering up your shoulders, especially if it's 85, 95, 100 degrees outside, make sure you have a scarf, or something to cover your shoulders out of respect of the church. I always carry a scarf with me. If you know me, I have a million scarves in my house somewhere, everywhere. So I always carry those. So yeah, cardigan, fleece, scarf, always have them handy. Especially if you're traveling to religious places. Crossbody bag. Now, when I first started visiting Florence and also studying abroad, I had that under the shirt type of, what is it called? Like a wallet. Oh God, now it's going to kill me. I'm going to look it up while I'm talking about it. But those types of, like the money belt. My dad had a money belt. I had the one that it was like a necklace and you had your passport and all that stuff. That's like when you were traveling. Like the first time to Italy, I was like so nervous, like my passport, gotta make sure my passport's okay. Type of a money belt. Okay. So that's different from what I'm talking about. So obviously when you are traveling to a hotel, an Airbnb, a villa, wherever you're staying in Italy, make sure you're not carrying around your passport or any type of document that you need to enter and exit your country, because it's happened to some of my friends. It's happened to a cousin that their passport was stolen or their green card was stolen. Like it's just best to keep it in the safe in the hotel room or wherever you know you will find it once you head back to your home country. So a crossbody bag for women, something that has like an inner pocket, so it's facing you like on your chest or something, which is very useful, especially if you have your phone, a camera, your money, wallet, whatever, because you'll be so surprised if you ever get pickpocketed because you never feel a freaking thing. I have been pickpocketed. They had took my wallet in front of my face at a restaurant in the middle of Florence. A little young child did it, waving a sign in front of my face, and took my wallet off the table without me knowing it. So again, nowadays it's getting a little bit worse, I feel like, especially when you're traveling in places that you're not aware of people around you. Just keep a watch on that. So a crossbody bag for gentlemen, a backpack, but a backpack that maybe you could also wear front. So like make sure you're not carrying any type of document in the back of your backpack where you can't see anybody. Might be looking at your backpack on the bus or on the train or anything like that. So all those documents should not even be in your backpack, to be honest. Anyway, that's my spiel on that. Comfortable shoes, comfortable sandals. Definitely. I have always loved the brand Mephisto, Mephisto. They are my favorite types of sandals, types of boots. I just bought boots this past winter, and I love them. They're so comfortable. They're very expensive, but I'd rather have them forever because I've had my sandals literally for over 10 to 20 years. Some of them I don't even throw them away. I should. But they are ones that you will keep with you for a very long time. So invest in really good footwear. You don't necessarily have to wear tennis shoes or gym shoes. Like there are Clarks. There's all different types of brands. Allbirds is another one I really like. They're really comfortable. So yeah, I'll put this all on my show notes for that. So yeah, comfy shoes for sure. Something that nobody really thinks about, especially in the summer and especially in the fall. Summer, you get these random rainstorms, especially when it's really hot. It's like Mother Earth is like, okay, I need to cool all these people off or something, and it's a big downpour for like 5 seconds. And then it's bright and sunny. It's freaking humid and you put your umbrella away and it's fine. In the winter, on the other hand, the month of November in Florence is a very rainy month. I remember one month when I was living there, forget what year it was, it rained every single day. And having a poncho, having an umbrella with me, I rode my bike everywhere, so an umbrella was hard to carry when I was on my bike. But if you're doing touristy things, a small umbrella, another thing that I have on my Amazon list, I would invest in that. Like, again, one I found on Amazon that's really compact, so it won't take up a lot of room in your suitcase. Yeah, so these are the main things that I think about for people that people forget about, especially when they're traveling, and when they're packing. Some things to just keep in mind when you are traveling to a different country, specifically Italy. When you are traveling to Italy, know that there are hardly any elevators anywhere. In big hotels, yes, there can be, but they're not going to be big elevators like you in the States. Okay, they're very tiny. They can probably just fit 2 people, max 3. But if you have luggage, maybe just 1. So my thought is here for you. Remind yourself that you can buy stuff in Italy if you run out of clothes. Okay? You do not need to bring your whole wardrobe. You do not need to bring, a ton of, socks under, like, there are stores in Italy. Yeah. It's not something you think about, oh, I'm going to go buy some underwear. Except I do. I go buy underwear because I love the underwear there. But when you're traveling and going from a train to a hotel and you don't want to pay for a taxi, which I wouldn't because they're expensive, remember the weight of your luggage. And I know I've said this on the podcast before, but I'm just bringing it up again. It's reminding myself, even though I always bring a tiny bag when I go to Italy now because I don't like carrying big bags anymore. Just remember, you as a person, if you're traveling with a couple, with friends or anything, you are the one that's responsible for your luggage, and you are the one that's going to have to lift that luggage up and put it on top of the carrying compartment in the train. You're the one that's going to have to pick it up and put in the overhead compartment in the airplane. You're the one that's going to have to drag it across the cobblestones in Florence to get to your hotel. Just little reminders. The weight of your bag, it could be just your workout for the whole trip because you have to bring it from one place to another. So keep that in mind for sure. Um, ooh, and speaking of taxis, this was something that was brought up by somebody. So taxis, you can't just wave a taxi down like in New York City, okay? Or in Chicago, wherever. There are specific taxi stands at the airport, at the train station, and it's a big orange, sometimes yellowish, depending on if the sun has bleached it, sign that just says taxi. And you'll know it's a taxi line because you're going to see a lot of people with huge luggages, big bags, waiting for taxis. Now, taxis, yes, they're going to cost more, but at least you're not dragging your bag across a town or across Rome or into the tube metro in Rome and then back up the stairs. Like, it's got a convenience. So if you're not one to want to drag and carry things and I'm speaking to the older people that listen to my podcast too, like, it's not fun. Even for me, I'm not that old, but still, I don't like carrying my really big bag, lifting it over my head or dragging it around the cobblestone. It's just not fun. So just be mindful of when you're packing. You can always buy something that could be your little souvenir to yourself. New underwear, new socks, a new shirt, a new cardigan, new sweater, all these things. Also, which is something that I always like to have, is have cash. Always have euro coins on hand. If you are driving in Italy, you will not get, I don't think so. I don't think you can do this. Maybe you can, but pay extra for it. You won't get like a telepass, which is like an iPass for those in Chicago, like to go through tolls, like the toll little machine, transponder, I guess it's called. Unless you pay extra for it. Again, that's something you would check with your car rental place. But you need coins. If you go through when you get off of the autostrada, and you go into the wrong one, it's just cash. You can't back up because there's gonna be somebody behind you. So it's best to have cash with you, coins if possible. But if you could also pay with a credit card, but you have to make sure you go underneath that lane where it says carte, and it has a picture of like coins. So just to keep in mind of that. Cash is great for small shops too, like going to a small boutique shop or going to the grocery store and you don't want to put like milk, if you're needing milk, like on your credit card. Like, Italians love cash. They love it. Credit cards and debit cards are hard, they hate them because, one, they pay extra for them just like we do when you use the machine. So cash. Think about cash. And this is another thing I have on my Amazon list for my travel guests is plastic bags cost money in Italy. So when you go to the grocery store, you're going to see a charge for like 10 euro bag per bag. It's best to like get one of those reusable bags. I mean, let's like take care of the environment, people. Like, get one of those. You can even buy them. You can buy them anywhere in Italy, but you can also buy them on Amazon and you have them handy. So when you're going grocery shopping, if you're staying in an Airbnb and you want to, cook your own food, or you're going to the market and you want to get fresh vegetables, it's perfect to have that because usually those bags cost extra and they are trying to, just like we're trying to here in the States, but not so much. Italy's more like that. A lot of people bring their own reusable bags or their reusable carts. So I used to have one. I loved it. It was my favorite. I talked about blow dryers. And I already talked about gypsies. Okay. Yeah. So that is my little spiel. The last thing I'm going to say on this episode is I'm going to stop. I've just found that like I'm not attracting the right people, or I'm attracting people. I'm just not attracting the people that I really am gunning for to come on these retreats with me and use my travel services on social media. Now, doesn't mean that I'm leaving social media. I'm just not going to be posting a lot on there as much. Maybe I'll do once a month. I haven't really decided. I'm going to move towards the platform of YouTube. I feel like my voice and my storytelling is what attracts a lot of you to me and to Truly Italy and to my podcast, because I've noticed a lot more downloads lately, even though I'm not really, I'm not posting a lot of episodes. And I appreciate all of you that are listening. I appreciate feedback. If you're not on my email list, I just sent a feedback email out the 1st of December. I have gotten 0 responses. So if you did get one, I would appreciate a response, just so I get an idea of like how you found me and like if you're looking for other things that you want me to talk about. Because I really want to expand my podcast, like topics and things to talk about, because there's only so many stories I have. I mean, I have a lot, but I want to hear from you. Like, I would love to get questions. I'd love to, if there's a scenario that had happened to you in Italy, like I'd like to dissect it with you and explain it with you. And I like doing the episodes with Julia. Julia, however, is very pregnant and going through that. So I don't know when I'm going to have her on again. Probably after the baby. So I enjoy giving you guys tips and tricks and like things to remember when you're, traveling. And also like, I would love to do like, more video ones with you, which I got this great new camera. So I'm thinking about doing more video or vlogging, if you will. I'm going to try. So that, you get to know me better. I can get to know my audience better. I just feel that that's where I'm leaning towards. One, because I hate social media. It's a lot. I was using a social media manager for a long time, and Shannon, she was great. But I'm just not seeing the benefit of it. It's distracting for me. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. And I really, really, really want to build this business into something great. And I feel like if I keep putting all my energy into that, people aren't going to really know me. So I'm going to focus on what I know, and that's storytelling, and that's Italy, and that's, travel tips and exploring new cities and taking you to new excursions, because I've got so many really cool things that I'm in the back office I'm working on. So yeah, I think that's it. If you have any questions, I do have, I don't think I posted on the show notes in a while, but I do have like a little voice messaging thing. Like, you can leave me a message. I saw another podcaster do it. Nobody's used it yet, so maybe you can be the first. But I plan on being on other podcasts too in the new year. I have a few lined up, and I'm really excited about them. I'm excited to share my message and my vision. And I just appreciate all of you for listening. It's been since I started this in 2021. So the fact that I'm going into 2024 and I'm still feeling like I really like podcasting, I'm excited that you're on this journey with me. So what else was I going to say? I think that was it. And yeah, you can always reach me at trulyitalytours@gmail.com if you have any questions or concerns. There's so many ways you can contact me through my website. I have a contact us page. So I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm going to say Buon Natale, Buon Anno Nuovo, and buongiorno, buonasera, buonanotte, wherever you are. And I'll see you in the new year. And can't wait to share all the amazing things with Italy. Ciao, ciao, ciao. I am beyond grateful for you listening to my podcast right now. I am so excited to share my journey of living abroad and all of my stories of Florence and Italy and all the places in between that I've visited. If this has reached you in any way and you would like to continue, please subscribe now. Also, go check out my website, trulyitaly.tours, for all my travel experiences. Ci si vede. Ciao.